These are the scariest things found in Halloween candies.
This Halloween candy had a needle in it. This one had drugs hidden inside, and this one was laced with poison. And in this video, we're going to be working our way up to the scariest thing that was ever found in Halloween candies. Let's get started with a spiky candy surprise. Imagine going out on Halloween to do some trick-or-treating. You come home, pull out a candy bar from your candy bag. Oh, it's a Twix bar. Nice. You go to take a bite, and ouch! Something pokes you on the inside of your cheek. That's what happened to one young girl in Hawaii in 2015. This young girl had a needle in her Twix bar. And it gets even worse. In the same year, there were similar stories of kids finding needles in Nestle Crunch bars and in Snickers bars too. Luckily, these kids got away without injury, but this story could have ended so much worse. Finding needles is bad enough, but you won't believe this next story. Nobody likes getting candy stuck in their teeth. But you know what's even worse? Finding bullets where your candy was supposed to be. One Halloween, a 4-year-old boy had actual bullets in his Milk Duds box. You're probably asking yourself, how did they get in there? Well, it turns out they'd been put into the candy boxes during a trick-or-treat event at the kids' preschool. Apparently, there were 3 .22 caliber rounds just chilling there in his Milk Duds box. Luckily, his mother found the bullets before he swallowed them. That definitely would have been a trip to the hospital. Anyway, who wants metal-flavored candy? After trick-or-treating, a mother in Indiana was going through her daughter's candies when she spotted an unopened Snickers bar. Well, nothing seemed wrong with that. Everything quickly changed when she decided to tear open the candy. Guess what she found inside? A dangerous metal rod was sitting there inside her daughter's Snickers bar. That's a pretty bad Halloween prank, don't you think? Immediately, the police began an investigation into the candy manufacturer, but found out that it's very likely that the candy could never have been from their plant. And to this day, no one knows how it got in there. Let's move on to some ant-killing candies. In 1964, an old lady called Helen Phil got really annoyed with children she thought were too old for trick-or-treating. That's when she made special treats for them. She got a bit too caught up in the prank though, as she took a dog biscuit, some steel wool and ant poison, wrapped it up in a candy bar, and handed it out to 12 teenagers who were around 14 to 16 years old. That evening, 5 of the sweets were found, and the woman was immediately taken to the police. She insisted that she meant it as a joke when questioned by the authorities. The judge ordered her to be sent to a hospital for a psychological evaluation. On the topic of poison, here's a creepy Pixie Stick story. Timothy O'Brien thought it would be a good idea to put poison in the Pixie Sticks candy and then give it out to 5 children, including his son and daughter. Want to know the worst part? He did this in an effort to kill them and collect a $40,000 life insurance payout. Sadly, O'Brien's plan worked as his son unfortunately passed away. Can you imagine how difficult this must have been for the boy's mother? Before he was arrested, the authorities took all of the remaining poison sugar tubes. Thank goodness. He was executed in 1984 and is known as the Candy Man. Nothing happened to other kids, and O'Brien never got the large insurance payout he always wanted. Time for a sharp Snickers surprise. After trick-or-treating in 2015, a boy noticed something didn't feel right while tearing into a Snickers bar. The object that was stuffed within the nougat turned out to be a disposable razor blade. Luckily, this boy discovered the blade before he swallowed it. But that's not all. There was a similar story in 1968 where 12 children discovered razor blades in apples they got during trick-or-treating. Even though a number of these kids weren't injured, an unlucky few had brutal cuts in their mouths. Scary indeed. Dramamine, anyone? I know what you're thinking. What the hell is this? It's a prescription drug that cures motion sickness. Not the kind of thing you'd want in your Halloween candies. Skittles, M&Ms, and even Smarties are all small, colorful, and tasty. But what if someone mistakenly mixed them with Dramamine tablets? Well, it looks like they did. Gone wrong. They just ate the Sour Patch Kids candy, and even though they admitted that it tasted a bit weird, they really didn't expect that it would land them in the hospital. Isn't that a little bit mysterious? The police decided to do a quick investigation. Lo and behold, the investigation revealed that the Sour Patch Kids candy contained a small volume of meth. Parents got better, and I'm really glad the kids didn't eat any of it. Next up, it's a mysterious...
But I am confused about that history. It include that drug from the seller, or was, you know, in some way changed their composition. I am confused if it was the fault of the company or another person who had the candies. I am a little confused. I need more details about this history, seriously. it was wild.
This metal object in a Reese's peanut butter cup. In 2017, an 11-year-old girl was rushed to the hospital after eating a piece of Halloween candy she got while trick-or-treating. This little girl had eaten a Reese's peanut butter cup, which contained a mysterious metal object. The metal object was so crazy that this little girl had to be moved to another hospital for an emergency surgery. Was this some sort of prank? Was someone trying to be funny by placing a metal object in a kid's candy bag?
Yeah, bro, it's what I say. What kind of trauma you have to have during your life in order to think that that's funny? That's not funny. No, it's not. Definitely not. I'm not laughing. And I have a very, very open sense of humor, but that's not funny. Dude, that's too much. That's gross.
I really hope the police find whoever did this so
Me
no
too,
other
bro.
child has to go through this pain. Christmas lights in a child's candy. You can probably guess what my first reaction was when I saw this. Christmas lights in a child's candy?
Christmas
Was somebody
lights?
trying to light up a little kid? Sounds like a pretty funny story, but can you imagine what would have happened if this kid ingested one of those tiny bulbs?
Oh my
This would have
God,
caused
I
a
don't
crazy
imagine.
health emergency. I'm not sure what this person had in mind, but Christmas lights should never go in Halloween candy bags. They aren't even the same holiday. Someone really thought, how about we put lighters in Halloween candy bags? Lighters are safe for the most part, but they can easily become dangerous in the hands of a little kid. This kid could set the couch on fire, burn their clothes, or even hurt themselves and their friends. But some people didn't really care about that, so they decided to place lighters in the hands of hundreds of kids around the world. Yeah, you heard that right. Lighters have appeared in several candy bags around the world, making us think this was all orchestrated by an evil maniac.
Evil international maniac. He wants to be important in all around the world. So he was like an evil Santa Claus, something like that. So instead of giving gifts to children all around the world, he gave, I don't know, maybe he's dead. Yeah, that's a very evil and creepy Santa Claus.
Who hates to see kids happy? Do you think that was scary? How about marbles in a candy meant for a 3-year-old? A father raised an alarm after he noticed something out of place in his daughter's candy, a medium-sized marble. But you know what's worse? His daughter's only 3 years old. And if he wasn't
she
right there
could
with her,
have
she could have put the marble in
confused.
her mouth, and it would have
Exactly.
caused her to choke. Thank goodness her father was there to stop her from swallowing a marble. How horrible would things have instantly turned out? I really want to believe that the marble got there by accident, because I can't imagine anyone wanting to hurt a 3-year-old child. Did we say one more drug story? Well, here's another one. Remember how one drug dealer hid his weed in the wrapper of a Snickers bar? That wasn't so smart, right? Now it looks like drug dealers have discovered smarter ways to hide their weed. In November 2021, the police in Ontario, Canada found out that drug dealers were now handing out cannabis edibles to unsuspecting kids. This happened after the police found these edibles in a kid's Halloween candy bag. Even though these cannabis edibles were put in a small airtight bag, they looked just like gummy bears. Any kid could have eaten this without knowing how dangerous
Yeah,
they are.
they were totally similar to a normal candy. Come on, so... oh my gosh. That's funny. But no, that's...
We've seen a
Yeah, it's
number of
ugly.
dangerous items added by random people, but here's something added by the manufacturer of your favorite Halloween candy. Halloween candies have a reputation for being sweet, but not every ingredient that goes into it is as sweet as the candy. In fact, some of the ingredients are far too dangerous for your body. One of such ingredients is a preservative known as TBHQ, that is tertiary butyl hydroquinone. Man, that was quite a mouthful. This preservative is made from a chemical known as butane, which is bad for your health. But hey, don't get all scared and worried. The government makes sure that manufacturers use only a tiny amount of this ingredient for Halloween candies. Seriously.
Seriously, why the government let the companies use that ingredient, even in a small amount of quantity? So that's weird. So you just don't let the companies use that ingredient. Come on. So why? Why do they need it? What's the main reason they use that ingredient if it's maybe dangerous? I don't know. I don't understand the regulators in the government, seriously.
At this point, we've got to ask, what's the obsession with putting hard drugs in Halloween candy?
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
UK, a certain Donald
Why they are
Jr.
so
Green was known as a
obsessed with
drug
drugs?
addict to almost everyone in his town except the little kids. Donald had mixed his cocaine in his bags of Haribo gummy candies, but when he saw some trick-or-treaters, he forgot about that, so he handed over the bags to the trick-or-treaters and went his way. By the time he remembered, the police had discovered the cocaine. Also, the police found the drug before any kid could try it, saving several kids from a possible overdose. Did you like the video? Now make sure to watch this one
That's
about the 10
insane,
weirdest
seriously,
candies
bro.
you should never
This
show.
is insane. So now I am traumatized. I will watch every candies I buy and I eat because I love candies. Even at my age, I love them. So yeah, I will pay attention in this Halloween when I go with my cousins, with my little cousins. I'm a nephew, you know. So yeah, I will be very attentive this time. Thank you for watching the video with me. Subscribe.